When someone asks you what two things don't go well together, your first responses should be toothpaste and orange juice, a foot on a Lego brick, and most importantly, obviously, a Mac and PC gaming. But here on the channel, we're optimists, and we're going to make this work. But not just on any Mac. A low-end Mac Mini from 2014. And before we get in, let me know down in the comments section what computer you're using. It'll be interesting to see, and I'll make sure I reply to everybody's comments. Let's get into the video. Hey guys, it's Alex from Alex Aging Tech. Some people may be wondering how I can game on such a low-end dual-core system. Some people may be thinking I'm going to take the cheap route and just get Chess and Minesweeper working on this machine. The rest will be thinking about the alternative method. Instead of using your own hardware, you can stream it from some supercomputer from a company. This of course would mean you need a good internet connection. Enter Geforce Now. This allows you to do just that, turning an old system into a gaming beast. You don't need to download anything, just log in and you have the games that you have already purchased. And you can stream it directly from Nvidia. Too good to be true? Yeah, well, there's a catch. If you're willing to have an ideal experience on Geforce Now, pay up, because you won't be getting priority access, sessions longer than an hour, or the latest technologies like ray tracing. I don't have the 6-month membership, and I want to take a perspective of an average consumer who doesn't want to pay loads for game streaming. So, let's quickly run down the specs of this Mac, which is the low-end, late 2014 Mac Mini running macOS Catalina. It's got a processor with 2 cores, 4 threads with a base clock of 1.4 GHz and a boost clock of 2.7 GHz. The graphics are integrated, Intel HD Graphics 5000. We've got 4 gigs of LPDDR3 SD RAM clocked at 1600 MHz and an upgraded SSD over the included hard drive, so we can run the OS much quicker. The connectivity of this model is actually quite impressive for its time, including 2 Thunderbolt 2 ports, 4 USB 3 ports, an HDMI port, Gigabit Ethernet, built-in Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 4.0, audio in and out ports, and an SDXC card slot. Okay, enough of scripted Alex, let's see this all set up and see if this 6-year-old system can game. Thank you Alex from the script. Now it's an actual mess right now, so I need to tidy all of this up, plug in this Mac, connect it to the monitor, and get Nvidia downloaded, and then hopefully we can play some games. Be right back. Right, so this is Geforce Now. As you can see, there's games from my library, and you can scroll down. I actually hate this mouse so much, I want to stop using it. You can scroll down, and there's also some free-to-play games, like old school RuneScape, Fortnite, League of Legends, Rocket League, Apex Legends, Destiny 2, etc. So we're going to try out some games and see how well they run. We will start with, look, everyone plays Fortnite, though I'm not the biggest fan of it. We're still going to try out Fortnite and see how well it runs. So before you play, Geforce Now lets you play your games on our cloud servers. So we have to log into our Epic Games account as well. We will continue. And now it checks if we are eligible to connect. Okay, so it's saying that streaming on our network is not really recommended. Now this is the painful part, because if you're on the free edition, you actually have to wait. On here it says there's 315 people ahead of me, so I have to wait in the queue, and hopefully I can get on the game and show you how it works. Okay, you may have seen I've changed the camera angle now. It's because it took so long to actually get through that queue. There were over 300 people, and finally we're here today. I actually had to stop it and start tomorrow so I could actually play the game. So now we are finally into Fortnite, and we're gonna see how it plays. First of all, we know that through Geforce Now, through our network capabilities, we can only run this at 30 frames per second at 720p. However, that would be fine. We should just turn up the graphics settings. I'm not playing competitive settings or whatever people want because I at least want to see if it looks good. And we're going to show FPS. Obviously we're on the battle island or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, we're getting a lot of frame stuttering, which is a problem. Hopefully that will clear up later on. Right, I don't know how to play this game. How do I play? Map? We will drop there. We will drop there. So far, it actually doesn't run too bad. And it can definitely be helped to revive an old system like this one. I can see a lot of stuttering, which is probably the case with the built-in graphics. It might not be handling it very well. I don't think the processor's a problem. And maybe it's partly to do with the internet connection as well. Even though we are hardwired through Ethernet, it could still be quite stuttery because the download speeds are not ideal, I would say. Right, so far it feels really weird to play on this. I'm playing at 30 frames per second, and obviously that's not ideal. Oi, sit down! Sit down! I don't know, I don't actually play this game, so don't judge my capabilities. Yeah, so the input delay is not actually that bad. I thought it would be much worse than this, but the frame rate, oh my god, it's not good. It's really not good. Obviously, if you have better internet than me, you could probably run this at a higher frame rate and a higher resolution, like 1080p. Oh, and as you can see on top of the screen, we've got 40 minutes left for our session. We need to get the victory royale, as they say. You just get the occasional stutter from the internet connection, but that's not a big deal. But I've turned all the settings up. Ah, I see lots of people in Fortnite just jump a lot. Oh, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. Oh! Ah! Get him! Ah! What is that? Right, so we've tried Fortnite. Right, now we're going to play a game that doesn't require as much frame rate. This game could be played on anything, really. We're playing Terraria, and we're going to see how well this plays. Now we've got to wait in a massive queue, and there's 206 people ahead of me. So what's the actual point? I have to wait so long. Okay, finally, we might be in. I'm not going to test any other games after that, because this is far too long. And I don't want to wait that long. This is to sort of give you an idea of what Geforce Now is capable of. Let me know if you want me to test out some other games in the future. Oh! Loading! Finally! Oh, for God's sake. Alright, we are finally in Terraria. So as we already know, we're only going to run at 30 frames per second at 720p. But it's not that bad on a game like Terraria. Obviously, it's pixelated graphics anyway, and also it's not a competitive game, so those extra frames don't matter as much. And it's also easy to run, so I could have run it on its own HD graphics, but this probably would have been better. We are in. There's a little bit of input delay, as I can notice. It doesn't feel great, but it's just like playing on a mobile device. It's not meant to be absolutely great. Obviously, you've got the benefit of using keyboard and mouse now. Much better. Yet sometimes it just isn't reading my inputs, which is a little bit of a problem. Oh! Alright, I need to run. I need to run. The villager is probably going to help. Yeah, I just pressed the spacebar once, and it's not reading my input. So obviously there's a little bit of a problem with that. But that's just the nature of streaming games like that. There's going to be a bit of delay. I would have pushed this video out much earlier if I didn't have to wait in the queue and I actually paid for it. I feel like I'm going to die here. Oh lords. Ah! That's to show you the game. From my experience, I think from a general playing standpoint, in terms of a purpose, I think Terraria would work better, but obviously Fortnite tends to have a few frame drop, which that's a bit of a problem because you're playing competitively. And if you have a frame drop when you're doing them box fights or whatever you call them, that's going to definitely be an issue. Alright, so that's Terraria for you, and that'll be the final game I'll be testing. I don't think I'll be testing another game, but hopefully, or maybe on a different system, if we're going to see if it games or not, maybe we could try out Geforce Now on that. Hopefully we're going to be able to do that. And yeah, that's it. So, the final verdict. The Mac Mini 2014 can actually game, and that's quite impressive. Back to script, Alex. Thank you, Video Alex. So, what have we learned from Geforce Now? It takes far too long to wait in the queue for the free subscription. It actually took me several hours to get on, and if the Nvidia software crashes, which it did once, you will have to rejoin the queue. It's just effort. The performance of the games actually surprised me. Despite some frame drops due to the possible internet connection bottlenecks, should I say, it was very stable, running at max graphics settings at our given resolution, 720p. There was minimal input delay on Fortnite, and there was just a bit on Terraria, but that wasn't a big deal. We were definitely able to run the games better than they would on integrated graphics. Now, for you guys, is it worth it? I'm going to give you the boring answer here. It depends. Does your system meet the specs recommended for Geforce Now? Is your internet capable of running a resolution and frame rate that you're comfortable with? Are you willing to wait in a queue to play your games? If you answered no to any of these questions, I don't recommend it. If you don't have great internet, it might be an idea to get a PC or console that can actually run the games more reliably and locally. And finally, if you ever want to use the free version, just don't. Waiting hours just to play a video game, which you may not be able to play by the time you finish from the queue, for 1 hour it's just far from worth it. If you want Geforce Now, you should get a paid subscription, and I'm pretty sure that the 1 month subscription is now gone, so you can only buy the 6 month subscription that costs you about £25 or dollars. Obviously, there are other ways to game on a Mac, but the costs can outweigh the benefits, like getting an external GPU, and can be bottlenecked by the hardware of your system, potentially. Anyways, that's it from me. Hope you enjoyed the video. Drop a like and subscribe if you're new around here, or if you're part of the 75% who saw the last video but haven't subscribed. Naughty. On a real though, any support would be great. It's been Alex for Tech and Talk. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.